should be just about live now. Awesome. So, hey, Vasily, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us here today. So, first and foremost, I know we had a chat the other day and we met through speaking at a different event. But can you tell me where in the world you are right now?
Sure. I'm in Fairfax, Virginia, United States.
In Virginia, in the US. This is so awesome. So it's nighttime with you and it is morning time here in Perth in Western Australia. The world is such a small place. It's amazing. So I know we talked about networking and that's your thing. And I was so happy to be able to get you to come on and have a chat with my audience and any people out there that are running a business and know that they need to network, but they're not sure. You know, we hear a lot of this networking and just standing up and doing your elevator pitch and this, that, and the other. But you had some really great insights the other day when we chatted about how to network in a way that can become profitable without just getting stuck in that, oh my God, I have to do an elevator pitch. So can you tell me a little bit about maybe some of the biggest mistakes that you see people making in networking?
I wouldn't put a mistake. It's a mistake to begin because I believe the basic problem is that they have not been educated.
Right.
As to what networking is.
Ah, okay.
So if they are not educated, we can't say that they're making a mistake.
Yeah, fair enough. And it's kind of like there's an assumption to what networking is. And maybe that in itself is the problem. Would that be what you mean?
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. It doesn't mean to make a mistake, but the big picture is this. A broad survey was done where people in business were asked, do you drive a car? They say, oh, yes. How did you learn how to drive a car? Oh, number one, I went to driving school. Number two, somebody taught me. Number three, all of the above. Very good. Next question. Do you network or attempt to network? Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. How did you learn how to network? Number one, I just walked into the room. Yeah. Number two, somebody pushed me into the room. That was a totality of the training. Yeah. Now we say we didn't take the car keys and hand them to a 16 years old and say go ahead and drive. But that is the deal. Most people that when it comes to networking.
Yes. Yeah, so true, because we network because somebody says you're in business, you need to get out there, you need to network. And you're so right, there isn't necessarily a dedicated learning program to learn how to network effectively, let alone to do so profitably. So tell us how.
Actually, the thing I want to mention, for over 10 years, I have a networking organization. I had it for over 17 years. People kept coming to me, asking me to write a book on networking or to make a post on networking. I never did because when I went to a library or a bookstore, I saw books wall to wall on networking.
Yeah.
See, I couldn't understand why they wanted. I dismissed that for about 10 years. Make a long story short, one day I realized I was doing a preparation to talk about networking, and I looked up the definition of networking in a dictionary, and I found that it was incorrect.
So the definition itself was incorrect, or the definition that we assumed was incorrect?
The definition in the dictionary is incorrect, Carmen.
Okay.
Now, if a culture does not have a correct definition, how could they possibly have the correct know-how? They can't.
Right.
So that's when I understood why they was asking me a question. It's not that nobody ever told them. They have been told, but it was not a codified. It was not an exact, precise knowledge.
Yeah.
When it comes to driving a car, we all go and turn the ignition key. All of us, no exception.
Yeah.
If you try to start your car by opening the trunk, it won't work.
No. Yeah.
So that's the situation. Everybody seems to have been told they have their own way to network. So the whole thing, to be candid, is a mess when you get out there.
Oh, 100%. And what I notice, I've quite often spoken to my clients about it, is that for these elevator pitches, you're so concerned about what you're going to say, you don't even listen to what the other people are going to say quite
Yeah, that's
often.
right.
And you know, and they're quite ineffective. So I love that you talk about networking in a whole different way. But I know you said you had a networking company, but what brought you to do that in the first place? Like, what was your background that brought you into the networking space?
Carmel, do you have 24 hours?
No, no. But just give us the snapshot.
No, actually, it's very simple. I was living in Florida. I came to Virginia to start a business. I did
Yeah,
not know anyone, so I started going out to those events. And I was not happy because it was just didn't seem organized to me.
yeah,
I went to an event one day and I paid $150. There was 200 people at that event, and the place was jam packed. We couldn't do anything. In the end, I wound up with free business cards, but
yeah.
not just because it was not organized. Then I understood that they were not properly organized. That's how, as a matter of fact, that's how I started my networking event because I went to
Right,
talk to people like you. I say, Carmel, when you go to an event, what do you want to see happening? I wrote that down. What is that you don't want? I wrote that down. So I took the thing they wanted and I created breakfast event.
right.
So I started.
Okay.
And then later on, I kept hearing, as I mentioned to you, people kept coming to me and say, you need to write a book on networking. You need to make a course on networking. And then the idea of doing the presentation from there, I found out there was no knowledge. And that's how I put together the networking know-how. And I have a book coming out. And now we're giving classes. And in fact, we have a conference coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and
Yeah.
Sunday.
Oh, wow. Awesome. And exactly that. It's I come across so many people that are doing some amazing things. And when you ask that question, how did you get to it? It's quite often they failed forward. They found something that wasn't working, which is the true definition of an entrepreneur, to find something that already exists, but to monetize it. And that's
Mhm,
exactly kind of what you've done. So
mhm.
for people watching, and I love the depth of experience there. What are what's the top three things that they can do to make their networking more profitable, more engaging, whatever that is? I
Actually,
know you
most,
told me a couple the other day and they were amazing.
yeah, well, I said the fundamental because by the way, one of the reasons networking has never been cracked because you have to go and understand fully organization and know the subject to crack networking. So I won't blame anybody because it's not a straight road. You
No,
really have to
no,
go somewhere else to crack this one. So
yeah,
I'm saying that because I want to tell you now what I found in the research. There are two basic rules of networking. Number one, be
yeah,
interested.
yeah. And a great distinction there, interested, not interesting.
Absolutely, you're correct. Absolutely
Yeah,
not be interesting is number one, be interested. Okay.
yeah.
And number two, always put your personal interest last.
Your personal interest last.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
be interested. When you get into a conversation with somebody, any one of you listening can test that. Decide to be interested in the person.
yeah,
Don't think about what you do, whatever is next, don't be looking at around and who, whatever. No, no, no. Get into the communication with the person and listen to what they say.
yeah,
Each and every word.
yeah,
It will make a total difference into the engagement with that person.
yeah. I
Because
totally agree. Yeah,
will be two conversations day and night. The one where everybody's talking, rag, 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 and the one where people are truly listening to the other.
yeah. And and I totally agree because there's a big difference in hearing and listening.
Right.
So when you're listening in that environment, say you're in a big room, you're connected with people, but you're truly being present, is what I'm hearing you say, and literally talking to that person. What are the kind of things that you're listening for?
Very good question. Uh, in my case, I'm not listening for anything. I'm listening to them.
Hmm.
Because what trick people, they go with an agenda.
Yes.
You go open.
Yeah.
Let them, if you have a question, if you tell me something, you say, well, I wondered. I said, wait, I didn't get that. Explain that to me. Or something I don't understand. I say, what do you mean by that? I don't understand. I am interested. I'm not running some agenda.
Yeah.
Whatever you tell me, I'm listening. If I have a question about it, I ask you. It makes a total difference because you know the most important thing is not what being said.
Yeah.
The most important thing is the interest, the person knowing that you are truly listening to him. Whatever you talk about is irrelevant.
Yeah. It's
But
it's it's
today,
going yeah, it's going with the psychology of it. People will not remember what you say, but they'll definitely remember how you made them feel.
yeah,
Yeah.
if I'm talking to you like I'm really listening, by the way, I can meet you, Carmel, at a networking event, and I've done that my whole life, and I keep doing that. I can meet you at a networking event. I talk to you. I listen to you. We part way. You don't know my name. You don't know what I do.
Yeah.
I just make sure I get your information. That's about it before we part way. But if you tell that to any business person, they're gonna go,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Oh,
understand
but
what
we
I'm
have
saying?
to get business
But
cards. What are you talking
very
about?
good,
We have the stack of business cards. Yeah. Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Now this leads me to the thing number three.
Yeah.
I developed a business development cycle.
Yeah.
It goes number one, networking, number two, promotion, and number three, sales. It is a one, two, three.
Yeah.
Number one is, as I say, being interested. If I'm interested in you and listening to you, very good. I leave, and then maybe 24 hours later or less, I can call you and say, Carmel, my name is Basil. We met. You're going to remember because I gave you my attention. You can't forget
Mm.
somebody who gives you that attention. At which point in time now, I can tell you, you mind if you get together for 5, 10 minutes so I can share with you also what I do? If I've done my job well, Carmel, you're going to tell me three words.
Yeah.
You understand? I didn't say two, I didn't say four, I said three. And those words are when and where.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? You're going to say
Yeah.
three. I didn't
Yeah.
say 56, I said three.
Yeah.
When
And
and where.
of
All
course,
right?
because that's the law of reciprocity. Reciprocity. I can't say it properly now. I usually do it, but anyway. But that is what it is. It's because you've given them something. You've
That's right.
given them your attention. You've given them
That's
a
right.
feeling. They feel like they have to give you something back.
Exactly. People respond in kind.
Reciprocity. That's it.
Yes. You follow?
Yeah.
Now, when we set that time now to get together, you're gonna give me your attention
Yes.
naturally, right?
Yeah.
At which point in time now I can do, if I choose to, my elevator speech.
Yeah.
So the elevator speech comes second at the section of promotion.
Yeah. The elevator speech. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Understand? And from there, once I present to you what I do, if you are interested, we can move into sales.
Yeah.
If not something of interest to you, you will be more than happy to take me to your tribe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You follow me? So it
Yeah.
is a one, two, three, where people get shredded totally and miseducated and lost and everything else. They are being told the elevator speech. So the elevator speech goes at the entrance. It does not belong there at all.
Mm.
It is
Mm.
once you have agreed to give me attention and you're willing to listen to me, at which point in time now I can deliver it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. I love that. So I know a lot of structured networking that they'll have a meeting and then you have to kind of stand up and do your elevator pitch. So what do you do in that environment? Because sometimes that's the expectation, whether it's good, bad, right, or wrong, that they go around in a circle, and I've been in those environments where you have to stand up and say, hi, I'm Carmel, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
What do you do in that environment, because you don't have the opportunity to just pay attention to one person? What would you suggest that people do in that environment?
Absolutely, it's understandable. It's just like if I meet you, they say introduce you, you meet somebody, give a name. That you have to have that. But I'm just telling, I'm talking about the whole bigger understanding of networking.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's not a level of speech per se. At that point in time, yeah, I guess it is, but much more an introduction,
Yeah.
really. So the introduction. You want to put the level of speech there, that's fine, but you have to understand, you have to understand the broad way how the game is being played, the true proper business development. It is never about pounding on somebody. We talked about that last time when I was talking to you about people making people at the Chamber of Commerce. And they
Yes.
was asked, who's here to sell something? All the hands went up. Who's here to buy something? All the hands went down.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Who is the guy
and
who's going to
most,
buy?
yeah,
If
that's
everybody's there to
exactly it.
sell, who's there? Who's going to buy? You understand that it becomes that gladiator thing. As I say,
Mm,
in the end, it's the last man standing.
yeah.
Everybody's
Oh,
pushing the
it's,
product on you're the one, and nobody's really listening to you
yeah. Yeah.
in reality,
And
or they act
yeah.
like if they were listening, but really they're waiting for you to finish so they can tell you or what sell
Yes.
you what they have.
They're already, it's a thing I call already always listening. It's like you're already listening with the intention of what you're going to say, and you're
Yeah,
assuming what they're saying. You're not
exactly.
listening at all. And
Mhm.
so look, networking events all over the place are, and I've said this to people, like full of people who just want to sell their stuff or get more business. Although it's quite often touted as building relationships, the underlying thing is that that's what they're there for. What kind of networking events do you find the best kind of networking events to attend? Is it more seminars where there's like-minded people going, or is it a structured networking event, or do you just use these rules in any environment you're in that there may be an opportunity?
Well, let me ask. That's a two-part question, a two-part answer. Number one is a very loaded question.
Of
Very,
course.
very loaded question. I say it's a loaded question because I designed a networking event. You ask me which one you should go to, I say come to mine, naturally.
Yes, of course. Well, I can't travel, so I can't go to yours. But
But you know,
what
now we
time?
do it online, so it's different though. I must say
Yeah,
it's not the same thing. But yeah, this but you're right. Regardless of where you go, you want to have this knowledge because it allow you to make your way in any networking event.
yeah,
And you can control the format or whatever. You come in, it is what it is. But
yeah.
having this fundamental knowledge, which we teach in our classes and courses, and I'll probably put on the chat box if you allow me the link to our next conference we're having this weekend.
Yeah, I'll actually pop it in when we're finished anyway. And you
Yeah,
sent
okay.
me a link, so I'll pop it in for sure. Because
Yeah, very
I'm,
good.
and we'll, yeah, well, I'll tout that in a few minutes. I'll let people know about that in a few minutes.
Sure.
Yeah,
This is how I explain it. You learn how to drive, you know how to drive, okay? You arrive at a network. You want to rent a car. You walked up to one of those rental company and you say, well, I want a Lexus. They say, oh, sorry, Carmen, we don't have a Lexus. And he said, what do you got? We have a Toyota, we have a Camry. Okay, good. Well, give me a Camry. Good. They give you the keys. Go, okay, good. If you knew how to network properly, you will be able to network with anyone, anywhere.
yes,
You understand? Same thing.
yeah,
When you get there to Dakar Ranta, you want this, even not they have, it doesn't matter. They can say we have a truck. Okay, good. If that's what you have, I got it. Boom, go, go. Because you know how to drive.
yeah,
Same thing. We're bringing people to the level where they can network as easily, or if not much easily, than they drive a car.
wow.
In the world of networking, you hear he's an introvert, he's an extrovert.
An extrovert,
Actually,
yeah.
the two suffer from the same disease. The two lack the proper, correct knowledge of networking unless they've been to our courses.
Yeah,
They both suffer from the exact same disease. In our society, we think because the guy is talking and loud, there's a network. Absolutely not. This is
right.
the guy that corner you networking room. He won't let you go. And unless you have your credit card, he won't let go. That's not networking at all. And it's not because I
Yes.
say so. I just give you an example. Who's here to
Mm.
sell something? Everybody, all the hands go up. Who's here to buy? How is that networking? It's a sales activity. Worse, it's a disguised sales operation.
Yeah, So if you say that the dictionary definition of networking is wrong, if you were to define networking in a sentence, what is that?
That's a brilliant question. Congratulations to you. One of the best, to clarify, one of the best way I always say to define something, one of the easiest way and best is to compare it to something. Okay. Let's say sales. Let's say I have this, I want to sell this to you, Carmen. I'll give it to you and you give me money. All right. That is
Yes.
sales. Well, let's say now I'm networking with you. Everything I do is so you, Carmel, can make money or achieve your goal.
Right.
That is networking. So the definition of networking is do the action that help the other person put money in the wallet or achieve the goal. I did achieve the goal because you can run into a non-profit organization. They don't necessarily want money. They want the bedding, they want the clothes, they want the houses or whatever. So that's what, find out what they have, what they want, and help them get it. And that is networking.
Yeah. So a much different, and that's more building relationships that are longer connected relationships because they see you as the person that has actually got their goals for them.
Yes. Remember, putting your personal interest last, you worry about their interest. What they tell you, the conversation, so how can I help you? What is that? And you do that. You networking.
Yeah.
People get freaked out. I'm glad people get freaked out because they, well, I gotta say something. Or my sales manager say, if I don't sell 3 cars tonight, they're gonna fire me. So they go straight into the sales. But you need to understand how the game is being played so we can run the gamut. Networking, which is show interest, promote the service, and sell.
Right.
Then you have long-term success. Then you build a relationship. And then, because if you go about it that way, the most important thing, the other thing we teach, is the person in front of you is a tree. Behind them, there is a forest.
Oh, I love that metaphor. Yeah.
Very good. Now, a good networker is thinking about the forest.
Yes.
He's not obsessed with the tree.
The
so
tree.
how do you get to the forest? If you treat the guy in front of you properly, he'll take you to the forest.
Yes. Love it.
Wealth is in the forest. It's not necessarily on this guy. This is one cell. There's thousands of cells. Each grown-up knows at least 3,000 people.
Yeah.
I'm not asking, I'm telling.
Yeah. Look, I love that you say that because we talk a lot about the building relationships and how to be, you could be the conduit of other people being successful, but they will always connect you to that. So that's so correct. That gives you access to the forest, as you say. I love how you put that. That's awesome. And it's so true because we have some people in our membership, we have some people that are clients now that we've known for years, or they've been on different courses for years, but they've seen the ability and they refer other people to us now because of exactly that. We have treated them right. And I think it's about they trust us with their customers now because they've seen how we've treated them. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they've seen our customer journey.
Exactly. One of the basic problems is that people do not, they say or act, but it's not sincere.
Yes.
And when it's not, it doesn't go far. The human being pick it up. I'm talking about being interested, for example. If you're not interested, if you're just there waiting for them to finish, they know they can pick it up. Sincerity is key in those relationships.
100%. They can pick it up. You're so right, because you get a feeling. You get a feeling of being uneasy. You may not know exactly what it is, but again, the people will remember how you made them feel. So if you've made them feel uneasy because you're that, what is it, snake oil salesman, trying to hide underneath this thing, it absolutely shows through. They can feel it. So I know that we're coming to the end. I can't believe we've been talking for so long. But I know that you did say that this weekend you have a 3-day networking event. And I'll put the link in the comments below if anyone wants to attend that. Now, I know in Australia, it will be kind of the middle of the night. However, I know that it's also being recorded and you get access to that. Isn't that correct?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So
Well,
even if they can't go
the
live,
sponsor, they kind of as a VIP, they get the recordings of the
they
concert.
get the recording. So yeah. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what those 3 days will involve, just in case if anyone's interested, by all means,
Well,
to hop
let,
on that.
let me tell you this, if I may say, all the people listening, if you breathe, sign up for that event.
If you breathe.
The only place I don't promote is the cemetery.
Yeah. Well, give them an idea of what those 3 days would involve.
We talked about the cardinal viewpoint, the cardinal of networking, the basic, and we go
Yeah.
further into the basics of it. Okay. We cover those points. We cover the do's and don'ts, and we teach you where networking belongs in business. One of the points we touched up last time, I mentioned the research you do before. To crack networking, you need to know where it fits in your business and how it relates to the rest of what you do. People not knowing the purpose of networking, not understanding where it relates, for them it's just a social activity. You need to
Yeah.
understand properly what it is, and then you know why you're doing it, and you can see how it can affect your revenue. But somebody got to show you that mechanism. Then you do it knowing that it's worth doing and knowing what it is, knowing what it can get you.
Yeah.
So we cover that. We do the demos also, and it's really actually that conference is a business development because we go over networking, how to
Yeah.
promote yourself, deliver a speech. We teach you exactly how to put it together. So it's aligned with the origin and then the sales. We touch upon the sales as well because
Right.
it is called profitable networking blueprint. We don't just want you, most of it, to just do networking to networking. We want you to get results. We want you to get customers. We want you to increase revenue. So
Yeah.
that's why we extend what we do into the broader business development side.
Right.
If you
Okay.
attend that
So
event, you attend that event, you will understand how the parts fit together, and it will be easier for you. Really, you'll know when you are what step, what to do, and what have you. It just again, you can't get into the car not knowing how to drive. But that's
yes.
what we're up against in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
Right.
thrown
So
into it, we don't know what it is.
yeah. So it's 3 full days.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing.
11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, 11
At
a.m.
the
to 8
end,
p.m.
at the end, the last time, the last part of the event, we even have an elevator speech contest where we bring 5 contestants. They deliver the speech, and we have 5 judges giving them feedback.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty
Yes.
amazing.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to put the link in below in a few moments when we finish this live. So if anybody wants to go to that event or get the recordings from the event, they can absolutely do it through there. So is there any last things you'd like to leave us with about networking, last little bit of gold before we finish up for today?
Sure. I'll tell you this. Driving a car is way more complex, way more dangerous than networking.
Right.
So therefore, if you can drive a car, let me assure you, you can be a very, very successful networker.
Right.
Because the skills required to become networker, unless you show me you have higher ability.
Yeah.
If you breathe, if your breath can be seen in the mirror, we can turn you into a fantastic networker.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being
Thank
on
you.
with me today. I'm going to stop the live stream and then we can talk a little bit of that. But thank you so much. And guys, put in the comments if you have any questions. Myself or Basili will get back to them then after this live. And I'll put the link in there if you would like to go to the profitable hospitality or profitable networking event, then please click on that link and know that you can, if you get the VIP, you can get recordings as well. So even if the timeline isn't exactly right. So for now, it's bye from me.